Hello, everyone. Welcome to Interstellar Chats. This is your host, Carlene Saelg, and I am here with two other wonderful co-hosts.
James, how's
Hi,
everybody?
and I'm Kristin.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here again for this most amazing chat that we're about to have. Today, we are talking about the importance and education around earthing and why it is so important to do something that really resonates with the Earth's vibration or the Earth's frequency as human beings, to connect to that and really become more centered or more balanced or more in harmony with that frequency. So let's start it off. Kristin, tell us what you know about earthing.
Well, I I really have always been like a nature person, and I love that, and I always feel better when I go into nature. But it wasn't until I would say like 6 months ago I watched the Earthing movie. It just
Awesome.
I don't remember who recommended it to me, but I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I
We
have a
have been
question. Is earthing and is earthing and grounding the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, they talk about the invention of sneakers and shoes that have a synthetic bottom, and how, as soon as that happened, we became ungrounded because before that, we had leather soled shoes, which
Uh-huh.
can still conduct the frequency of the earth. But as
Uh-huh.
soon as you put some rubber in there, you're ungrounded, and it shifts all of the frequency of your body. It kind of throws things into chaos.
Wow.
So they Pierce watched it with me, and he was really amazed about how they talk about children going to school
Mhm.
and spending 90% of their day ungrounded, and then going into an elevated bed for the next, for sleep time. So you're literally, most of your life, you're not even grounding yourself to the earth.
So to
So
bring
bringing
this back
it back to
around,
nature.
Right.
I just want to mention that this, whenever you look it up, it's called the Earthing movie. And if you buy, they have an earthing mat. So you don't have to buy anything. You can honestly just get outside and put your feet on the ground for 30 minutes, or you can lay down on the ground. You can go to the beach. You can go to the mountains, go into your backyard, just like James is in his backyard, and put your feet on the ground, and you will be earthing or grounding. But this movie is a documentary that explains the science, if you will, behind what Kristin was just saying about becoming ungrounded. But really what is happening is the guy who kind of discovered this, and I want to say discovered because he's the one who put the documentary and the book together, and his name is Clinton Ober, and he basically was a cable guy, and he discovered through laying cable down and making it so it goes to each home and all the things, that they had to, while working on the lines, make sure that they were grounded by putting a grounding wire into the Earth's surface to discharge any built up electricity, because we are electrical beings, right? We're made up of energy. Energy is electricity. So when you have a buildup of this electricity, you can easily get shock someone else, or you've experienced static electricity where you touch your dog or your cat and this little electrical charge happens. And a lot of that buildup happens when we are around synthetic material and just living our lives around electronic equipment, microfiber type blankets, synthetic shoes that are keeping us ungrounded, untethered, and just disconnected from the frequency of the earth. Now, what is important there is the frequency of the earth is balance, and it is what keeps the human being balanced electrically, right? So if you are building up way too much static electric charge or frequency in your body, things become haywire inside of you. Whereas we have a buildup of inflammation, and inflammation is the basis of every single disease, discomfort, autoimmune issue, or whatever you want to call it, problem, issue, disease. All of those things stem from chronic systemic inflammation. And that is usually, according to the science behind earthing or becoming, having too much of our day being ungrounded, that buildup just feeds the inflammatory process. So if you do not ground, you will be in a state of dis-ease at some point in your life, whether it is painful joints and swelling, arthritis, to full on big autoimmune issues and cancers and dis-ease and stuff like that. So there is huge corroboration with this science of actually grounding. And why is it that the human being needs to be grounded with the earth's frequency and not the frequency of your kitchen table or the frequency of your bed, or something like that? Well, what is so important about the earth? Well, the earth has a Schumann resonance, right? It is its heartbeat. It is the actual frequency that is aligned with the human being's living process, right? The actual lifespan of a human being has to do with how high is your frequency, how grounded are you, how in tune are you with the earth that you're living on. And in more ancient times, historical times, we lived and slept on the earth. Now we have homes and we have all this synthetic material and like you said, Kristin, about the synthetic shoes and the invention of sneakers and running shoes. And now we are completely disconnected all of the time. And it's affecting us in ways we had no idea that it would affect us, right?
Yeah, so here's something interesting. After I watched that movie, I started going barefoot pretty much everywhere. There have been times where just recently I went to the supermarket, the Publix here it's Publix. It could be, there's many supermarkets, but I didn't have my shoes. I didn't even think about it until I was in the aisle. And there was a little girl and her mom, and the little girl kind of grabbed onto her mom because, Mommy, she has no shoes.
Wow.
And it was like, it was almost scary to her that I was there without any shoes.
Yeah.
And that leads me to the story I told just before we started recording, which was we were walking around the house. Me and Pierce were walking around at night looking for geckos. We did have shoes on though, because it's night in Florida. I'm not going barefoot.
Or snakes and spiders.
Right? There's a lot of things. But my neighbor was like, you're not supposed to be walking on the grass. And I just thought it was so interesting where people's concept now has been so programmed to be away from nature. Like, you're going to get your feet dirty. That's not sanitary. You got to put your socks and shoes on because why? Because why? We don't even know why.
Right.
Right? It's just because.
It's so funny. So this whole week, well, actually, it's been for a couple of weeks now. Everyone that comes into, you have to punch a code to come into this complex. And every single person that comes in complains about getting shocked, like a heavy shock by punching the button. I never, ever get shocked. I not once ever get shocked. And, but everyone always complains about it. And then Magda, my friend Magda said, oh, it's because you're grounded.
It's because you're ungrounded, right? Well, because you're grounded and they are.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm grounded. That's why it's not shocking me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I carry stones in my pocket too a lot, you know, just and Smoky's quartz, which is a grounding stone, I usually carry with me also. So
I
Yeah.
had a neighbor, not a neighbor, a friend back in California whose husband was a lineman. And I used her bathroom one day and she had all these wires going out her window. And that's what it was. He had created a grounding mat. And that was the first time that I had ever seen it. And that was, I would say, maybe 7, 8 years ago.
Awesome.
And I was like,
Yeah.
what is that? And she kind of explained it. She didn't really know. That was kind of his department, you know. But I feel like the people who know about electricity and how it works probably already have a grounding mat.
Right. And, you know, so they were even in the documentary, the Earthing movie, what is his name? Clinton Ober was talking about when he discovered it, all he did was put a metal rod into the ground that was hooked up to a wire that he made just a crude, like used aluminum tape or some kind of foil tape that he put around his bed and attached it by the wire so that he was grounded to the earth while he slept, which gave him the brilliant idea to create a commercial type product that we could all access, because we're not getting enough time in earth and in on earth, I should say, or in nature, and having that time to really ground ourselves. And I have to tell you that that documentary was not even finished, me watching it, my wife and I watching it, and we had already ordered one. It was that important to us to order one. So it's definitely, go ahead.
I have a question, Carlene. So your grounding mat, do you plug it into the wall? You plug it into the grounding part of the wall, correct?
So you know how there's 3 prongs in the US? There's the 3 prongs, and the third one, the one that's got the different shape to it, that's the ground. Yes. So the little outlet part that you plug into the wall has 2 plastic prongs for the electricity, and then the grounding one is a metal piece. So you're plugging directly into the ground and not the electricity. So yes, your mat that you put on the bed, or, you know, you can get one for your pillow, you can get one for your feet underneath your computer while you're working. They have different types, but I do have to say that I only just received this week, and it was so perfect because I had my transformational high vibrational retreat where there was a lot of energy that we as practitioners and as attendees at the retreat we're making ourselves, right? We were increasing that vibration, and we did a lot of grounding. Yet when I came home, I still was feeling a little bit depleted on, you know, so on the 4th day after the immersive experience, I was still feeling a bit depleted and needed to integrate more. And I know that when I spent a little extra time on that grounding mat, the next morning when I woke up, I felt like a completely different, fully integrated, strong person. Like I felt so amazing. And that was the first time I experienced, because I had actually slept on it another time before feeling that depletion, where I was like needing something significant and went into it being like, I need to see how this is going to work. And the next day was literally amazed. So do I have a testimonial about it? 100%. It works. It works, especially if you don't have time to go camping and spend the the evening in nature.
Yeah, I feel like just being barefoot has been such a huge thing. Just walking around that way. So before I started grounding, and this is what I meant to say before and I forgot, I had bodily aches. You know, I'm 53, I am going through menopause, and my whole body just aches. And I was taking tons of collagen, like putting it in my water, putting it in my smoothies and my coffee. And I realized like 2 days ago, like I haven't been taking my collagen. I just forgot about it, but my body's not aching.
Awesome. Awesome.
Wow. I love that.
Well, my question is can you feel it? I mean, okay, first of all, I'm excited to watch the documentary. I'm going to watch it tonight that you guys are talking about. but I do the old school grounding where my hands and feet in the earth. And when I do that, I personally can feel a pulse happening. And I know that I'm having an interaction with the planet, with the earth. And it's just like cycling through me. Do you feel something when you're on the mat? Is my question. Do you have any physical sensation?
So I definitely feel something internally, but I want to, I think, specify that people like us, light workers, who are doing the work, who are really in tune with ourselves and the frequency that our body holds and the frequency of the earth, we can feel that. And maybe not 100% of the people will be able to feel it. They may just notice that their body feels better the next day, but I think for sure, those that have been doing the work for years are more in tune with their own frequency and the frequency of the earth and can feel those nuances. And maybe not everyone can feel it like we can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would think that maybe being a Reiki practitioner might have something to do with feeling that too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I've been an energy practitioner for 23 years, and I've even upgraded since learning and practicing Reiki. I now have a galactic connection and my shamanism connection. So many different ways that I've been practicing the different types of energy medicine that if there was a level to say, not that there is any kind of level, but I would say I'm more on the professional level of being able to feel and direct and work with the energies of the earth and the galactic energies as well. So again, I think it's just...
I also feel that if you are going to go out and do some grounding and you haven't done it before, the way to feel it is want to feel it and really close your eyes and bring your attention towards it, and you will probably feel it. When I go about my life and I'm just barefoot, or when I go to the beach in the morning, I'm not focused on the energy. I'm focused on, what can I see? Oh, look, there's shells and there's fish, and I'm going to the market and walking down the street barefoot. I'm thinking about other things, but the grounding is still happening. Whether or not you feel the energy, you're still getting the benefits.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? If you want to feel the energy, I would say, tune in and close your eyes and intend to feel it.
Yeah, or just ask. Just ask.
And, I should make the clarification that even though I said I'm a professional, it is my full-time job to be an energy medicine practitioner, right? So not everyone is in that realm, but that doesn't mean that you as a lay person or, whatever your job is, that you can't feel it. I'm not insinuating that at all. You absolutely can. Just as James and Kristin are saying, you absolutely can just intend and ask for it, and you will feel what you are asking for. That's how it is.
For sure.
Your instrument is open, Carlene, is part of it, is why you feel that. Your instrument is open. And some people come in with their instrument being open certain degrees, and then some people need tune-ups like through Reiki and being opened up through Reiki, like I was with Carlene. Carlene was my Reiki person. So one of them, yeah.
Yes. So definitely through activations, through transformative experiences, through the use of some kind of a guide or an escort to show you or help you experience things. If you're wanting a little extra attention or you're not sure how to do it, tune into Intergalactic Chats and we'll certainly be able to help you along the way. Plus, we also have our own programs and workshops and retreats that you can attend. So please ask if you have any questions, just ask in the comments. We're happy to answer your questions and provide you extra opportunities to join us on the journey of discovering more of who we were always meant to be on this earth as a human being. What do you think, guys?
Right.
Truth.
Is there anything else we need to add? I will put in the show notes the link for the earthing movie. I did watch it, I believe, on YouTube. So that should be very easy for everyone to find it. Or you could always look up theearthingmovie.com, which I think is the website. If it's not, look in the comments and I'll make sure that it is posted there.
Yeah, or you could guys out there post your ideas and ways that you ground as well, if it's not, anything that we've mentioned. So
Perfect.
Yeah, I wanted to add too, a lot of times, well, speaking of energy work, right? You can also ground to the earth intentionally with energy, even if you're not connected and you have no way to connect yourself. You can envision that grounding cord going into the center of the earth from your body. That's just another way of grounding.
yes.
So many ways to ground. Thank
That's not,
you.
we didn't talk about that because it's not in the movie, because we're kind of focused on the actual earth and putting your feet and your body on the earth. But energetically speaking, there is that whole aspect that actually the movie doesn't really touch on at all.
It really doesn't. It's all about just discharging your built up energy. And they even talk about how many volts we're holding in our bodies.
Yeah.
The charge we get throughout the day and then discharging that. So it's really about the mechanics of grounding, but there's a whole spiritual side to it that we, as the instrument, can direct our energy, we can ground our energy, we can increase and expand our energy. So many different things that movie did not touch on, but we absolutely will in Interstellar Chats and future conversations. And we invite you along for the conversation with us and to connect with us. We plan to do more interview style chats with our community, and we want you to be involved. So please put a comment below and tell us who you are and what you would like to talk about, and we will put you on the list to be an interviewee. So we would love that opportunity to connect with you. And with that, I would like to say thank you again for tuning into Interstellar Chats. We love this time with you, and it is super special just to be able to connect and be able to give our 2 cents, 3 cents about all of these energetic and spiritual practices that we absolutely love and want to share with our community. So with that, we're signing off. Thank you. See you next time.
Bye, guys. Be barefoot.